Grab your wand or your TV remote, same thing. Stay with me for the next 10 minutes. Spell 1. Expelliarmus, the most dramatic drop it in history. Let's start with the spell that basically screams, I'm morally superior and slightly dramatic. Expelliarmus is the disarming charm. It does exactly what it sounds like. It knocks whatever your opponent is holding straight out of their hands, usually their wand, sometimes their dignity. In real wizard combat, this spell is brilliant. Instead of hurting someone, you just take away their ability to hurt you. It's magical self-defense. It's like unplugging someone's controller during a boss fight. What makes this spell legendary is how often Harry uses it. While everyone else is firing explosions and lightning storms, Harry is over here going, please drop that. And somehow, it works, repeatedly, against some of the darkest wizards in history. In real magical logic, Expelliarmus works by creating a focused burst of force that targets the object a person is actively gripping. It doesn't care if it's a wand, a sword, or a cursed teacup. If you're holding it tightly, it's gone. Fun fact, this spell becomes so associated with Harry that enemies can sometimes recognize him just by seeing it. Imagine being so loyal to one move that villains go, yep, that's him, the polite disarmer. Moral of the story, you don't need explosions to win. Sometimes you just need really aggressive manners. Spell 2, Avada Kedavra, the spell that has no chill. Now let's talk about the spell that makes every wizarding parent immediately say, absolutely not. Avada Kedavra is the killing curse. No pain, no wounds, no dramatic last words, just instant death. One flash, game over, credits roll. This spell is illegal, unforgivable, and emotionally devastating. You cannot use it accidentally. You cannot oops your way into murder. You have to mean it. The spell only works if you truly want the person dead. That's what makes it terrifying. It's powered by intent, not just magic. Your emotions are the fuel. In magical mechanics, Avada Kedavra shuts down the life force directly. It doesn't damage the body. It cuts the connection between soul and body. That's why victims look physically fine afterward. It's like pulling the plug on existence. This is also why it's so rare. Most people simply can't summon that level of hatred. You have to be deeply committed to being awful. And yet, despite how powerful it is, this spell can be blocked under very specific circumstances, like sacrificial protection or wand connections, meaning love and loyalty literally beat murder, which is both poetic and embarrassing for dark wizards. Imagine training for years in evil school just to get defeated by hugs. Spell 3, Expecto Patronum, depression, but make it magical. Expecto Patronum is the spell that fights literal despair. It creates a Patronus, which is a physical manifestation of your happiest memories. Basically, you weaponize joy. When Dementors show up to steal your soul and make you relive your worst moments, this spell steps in like, nope, here's a glowing deer, leave. Casting it requires intense focus on something positive, a memory so strong that it overpowers fear. That's incredibly difficult, especially under stress, which is why most students fail at it. In magical terms, the Patronus is a projection of your emotional energy shaped into a guardian form. It's not an illusion. It's real magic. It can fight, it can travel, it can send messages. Yes, some Patronuses are used like magical WhatsApp. Your Patronus form also reflects your personality. Brave people often get strong animals. Clever people get agile ones. Mysterious people get things that make everyone go, of course you do. The deeper message here is beautiful. Your happiest moments are your strongest weapon. The wizarding world basically said, mental health matters, decades before social media did. Spell 4, Wingardium Leviosa, the spell that started it all. This is the first spell most fans ever learned how to pronounce incorrectly.
Stop. You're going to take someone's eye out. Besides, you're saying it wrong. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Wingardium Leviosa makes objects float. That's it. Simple, iconic, revolutionary. It changes gravity's mind. What makes this spell interesting is its precision. It doesn't just lift things randomly. You can control direction, height, and movement with your wand. In magical physics, this spell temporarily alters an object's relationship with Earth's magical field. Yes, Earth has a magical field. Wizards just casually ignore that. It's also incredibly practical. Moving furniture, carrying luggage, pranking friends, escaping danger, floating unconscious trolls, one spell, infinite uses. And yes, pronunciation matters. Magic is partly language-based. Saying it wrong messes up the magical vibration. That's why Leviosa works and Leviosa does not. Spell 5, Accio, the ultimate come here button. Accio is summoning charm royalty. You say the spell. You name the object. It comes flying to you from anywhere. Lost your keys? Accio keys. Forgot your homework? Accio essay. Lost your dignity? Sorry, that one's gone. The object doesn't teleport. It physically travels through space at high speed, avoiding obstacles. That means somewhere in the wizarding world, random people occasionally watch things fly past their faces and just accept it. Magical tracking is involved here. The spell locates the magical signature of the object and pulls it toward the caster like a magnet. The better you know the object, the stronger the spell works. Emotional connection boosts accuracy. Yes, magic cares about feelings again, very on brand. This spell alone would end most modern problems. Lost phone, lost remote, lost motivation, Accio productivity, maybe. Spell 6, Alohomora, crime but classy. Alohomora opens locked doors. That's it. And yet it's somehow treated like forbidden knowledge. This spell doesn't break locks. It convinces them to stop being locked. It temporarily rearranges the magical structure of mechanical devices. Basically, it sweet-talks metal. More complex locks resist it, especially magical ones, so you can't just stroll into high-security vaults. But regular doors? Toast. It's used constantly in emergencies, investigations, and teenage adventures. Hogwarts security is held together by hope and vibes. Spell 7, Sectum Sempra, the spell that went too far. Sectum Sempra causes invisible cuts to appear on the victim's body. It's basically magical knife wounds from nowhere. This spell was created for combat. It slices skin and muscle as if hit by blades. There's no visible weapon, just instant injury. What makes it dangerous is that most users don't know what it does until it's too late. It's not taught, it's hidden, it's secret. In magical theory, it creates concentrated cutting energy that follows the target's outline. Precision violence. It can be healed, but only with specific counterspells. Normal healing magic doesn't work well. This makes it especially cruel. Lesson: don't use spells you found in mysterious notebooks. Ever. Spell 8. Lumos and Nox. Magic flashlight energy. Lumos creates light. Nox turns it off. Yes, wizards invented the flashlight and the light switch. Lumos produces cold, steady magical light that doesn't burn and doesn't need fuel. It's perfect for dark corridors, caves, and late-night library sneaking. The brightness can be adjusted with wand movement. Skilled casters can make it dim or blinding. Magically, it converts ambient energy into visible light, basically renewable energy. Wizards were eco-friendly before it was cool. Simple, useful, legendary. Spell 9, Obliviate, the memory delete button. Obliviate erases or alters memories. Yes, it's terrifying. This spell targets specific neural magical connections in the brain. It doesn't just remove memories, it dissolves the pathways that store them. That's why damage can be permanent if done incorrectly. Skilled users can edit memories carefully, remove details, replace scenes, adjust timelines. It's magical video editing for brains. It's mainly used to protect the wizarding world from exposure, but in the wrong hands, it's emotional warfare. Imagine losing pieces of your life because someone else decided you didn't deserve them. Dark, powerful, necessary, dangerous. Spell 10. Protego, the magical shield. Protego creates a defensive barrier. It blocks spells, debris, and magical effects depending on strength. The shield forms from concentrated magical will. The stronger your focus, the stronger the shield. Advanced versions can reflect spells, absorb energy, or form domes. Beginners usually get weak flickers. It's the foundation of magical combat. Defense first, drama later. Without Protego, wizard battles would last about 3 seconds. Spell Elf, Petrificus Totalis, full body freeze. This spell paralyzes the entire body. Instant statue mode. The victim remains conscious but unable to move, which is awkward and uncomfortable, and probably very annoying. It locks muscles and nerves simultaneously using magical binding energy, used mostly for non-lethal takedowns and sibling revenge. Temporary, effective, humiliating. Spell 12, Ridiculous, fear, but make it silly. Ridiculous turns your worst fear into something funny. Facing a monster that looks like your deepest nightmare? Now it's wearing roller skates. This spell doesn't destroy fear. It reframes it. You take control. It works by forcing the mind to reinterpret the magical projection of fear into absurd imagery. Psychological magic at its finest. Therapy, but with wands. Spell 13, Apparition, teleportation with consequences. Apparition lets you teleport, but it's dangerous. You must visualize your destination perfectly. Otherwise, you might leave body parts behind. Yes, that happens. It's called splinching. No, thank you. The spell works by disassembling and reassembling your magical and physical structure through space. Basically, you become data, then download yourself. Lag is fatal. Final thoughts. What makes these spells special isn't just power, it's purpose. Every spell reflects something human. Fear, hope, love, protection, curiosity, kindness, even mistakes. They aren't just tools, they're emotional extensions. The magic in Harry Potter works because it's tied to who you are, your intentions, your memories, your courage. That's why fans still care. That's why these spells live rent-free in our heads. That's why people still whisper Lumos when the lights go out. They remind us that imagination is powerful, that stories shape us, that sometimes the strongest magic is choosing to be kind when you could be cruel. And if that's not real magic, I don't know what is. So keep your wand ready, keep your heart open, and remember, Expelliarmus first. Always. Thank you for watching. Please drop a comment for feedback.